My name's David Youngblood.
And I'm Rob Horton.
And my name's Jonathan Zott.
And we're at the Georgia College State University Library in Millersville, Georgia. And we'll be reading a passage from To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. First passage goes, "But Mr. Bose held us, not only a finch waiting on tables, but in the courthouse longing for niggers. Jim stiffened, but Mr. Bose shot he'd gone home. She knew it. She indeed. What has this world come to when a finch has gone against his raising, I'll tell you? She put her hand to her mouth, and when she drew it away, it trailed a long silver thread of saliva. Your father's no better than the nigger trash that he works for."
Context of my passage is when Atticus Finch shoots a rabid dog in the street. Mr. Tate almost threw the rifle at Atticus. "I'd feel mighty comfortable if you did it now," he said. In a fog, Jim and I watched our father take the gun and walk out to the middle of the street. He walked quickly, but I thought he moved like an underwater swimmer. Time had slowed to a nauseating crawl. When Atticus raised his glasses, Copernica murmured, "Sweet Jesus, help him," and put her hands on her cheeks. Atticus pushed his glasses to his forehead, and they slipped down. He dropped them on the street in silence. I heard them crack. Atticus rubbed his eyes and his chin. We saw him blink hard. In front of the Radley gate, Tim Johnson had made up what was left of his mind. He had finally turned himself around to pursue his original course up the street. He made 2 steps forward, then stopped and raised his head. We saw his body go rigid. With movements so swift they seemed simultaneous, Atticus' hands yanked a ball-tipped lever as he brought the gun to his shoulder. The rifle cracked. Tim Johnson leaped, flopped over, and crumpled on the sidewalk in a brown and white heap. He didn't know what hit him. Mr. Tate jumped off the porch and ran to the Radley place. He stopped in front of the dog, squatted, turned around, and tapped his finger to the forehead above the right eye. He said, "You were a little to the right, Mr. Finch," he called. Atticus replied, "Always was."
And my passage is also criticized for racism. Luba stopped, but she said, "You ain't got no business bringing white chillin' here. They got their church, we got ours. It's our church, ain't it, Miss Cal?" Calpurnia said, "It's the same God, ain't it?" Jim said, "Let's go home, Cal. They don't want us here." I agreed, they did not want us here. I sensed rather than saw that we were being advanced upon. They seemed to be drawing closer to us, but when I looked up at Calpurnia, there was amusement in her eyes. When I looked down the pathway again, Lula was gone. In her place was a solid mass of colored people. One of them stepped from the crowd. It was Zebo, the garbage collector. "Mr. Jim," he said, "we're mighty glad to have you all here. Don't pay no attention to Lula. She's contentious because Reverend Sykes threatened to church her. She's a troublemaker from way back. Got fancy ideas and haughty ways. We're mighty glad to have you all."
This book was banned and challenged in several places, notably Eden Valley, Minnesota in 1977 for the use of the words damn and whore lady, and in Vernon, Verona, Sherrill, New York school district for being a filthy, trashy novel.